Hello all and welcome back to Vampire the Masquerade Independence. Tonight we join our scene somewhere on the outskirts of the city where a single car is currently driving around all on its lonesome, blasting out some rather loud power ballads, let's say. A very loud Scots lady singing along. Slowly the car pulls up, finding something laying upon the side of the road. What does Amelia find when she steps out of her car and glances down at this prone body upon the floor?
She finds a woman in her mid-20s, fully clothed in sort of jeans and a vest and a leather jacket and that sort of thing. And she has a stake sticking out in the middle of her chest.
Grumbling to herself, she slowly approaches this prone form, handgun now in her hand as she gives the woman's foot a gentle nudge to see if it's still up and about, because you never can tell some of these days.
Nope, no movement.
Then she'll bring out a cell phone, dialing. She got Crimson's phone number, didn't she? Or was it Eve's?
I don't know if you ever got his.
Okay, then she'll phone Eve. Please don't make me do the Austin ringtone.
No, you don't have to. You will pick up the phone and be like, "Hold on, Crimson. Hold on. What? What? Hello,
Hey, Everly.
Amelia. What's up?"
Well, I was just out and about on the town, doing something whilst Shell and Victor are off wherever, and I found something. I think you might be interested. I'm gonna bring it around to the club.
My
Get some-
place or Crimson?
The place I was last time.
The hearth. Okay. Bring it around back.
I will do. Get some restraints.
What?
We're going to need to tie
Okay.
this one up.
Oh, fucking hell. Alright. And you hear her pull the phone away. Hey, Crimson, we need the bondage gear.
He's not going to question this.
Just set up one of the rooms, okay? And she'll, give him a little peck on the cheek.
What do you think I was doing?
Never know. Alright, Amelia. Right, back to you. Yeah, we're getting a room set up. Bring them over.
I'm not even going to ask.
See you in 15?
Right, see you soon.
Alright.
And
Oh,
she's
hang
hung
up.
up.
And Eve will be going to help Crimson set the room up.
Meanwhile, Red would be getting herself picked up and sat rather delicately in the passenger seat, with Amelia's coat draped over her and positioned so it looks like she's sleeping, just in case anyone happened to stop her on the way back. And then off into Independence Street Drive. And I think we can all just time skip until Amelia gets there. Agreed?
Sure.
Then soon enough there'd be a bang, 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 rather authoritatively on the back door of the hearth.
Takes a moment for Frank to open up the door, and he was told to be expecting someone, so he didn't open it in his usual having to look at who's out there and check to make sure that they're allowed in. After the A tall and burly-looking guy steps aside. He looks outside to whoever was knocking. What does he see?
He sees an Amelia clad in combat boots, cargo pants, and a tack vest, carrying someone with a stake through the middle of their chest.
He'll visibly cringe at that. It's like, ew. And he's gonna step out of your way so you can get inside, and only after you're inside will he close the door, and he'll go to her other side to help carry her steadily down the stairs. Because despite how big he is, despite how gruff he is, despite his grumpy disposition, he still helps people.
Amelia would smile pleasantly and nod. "Ta, darling," and carry him downstairs. Carry Red downstairs. Eve! Eve!
Eve opens up one of the doors to one of the private rooms. She'll halfling out. Okay, bring him in here. What the fuck? And she'll just kind of.
You're asking me? I just found her on a drive.
Oh, fucking hell. Here, in here. And she, like, motions.
She'd carry her on in and set her down wherever directed.
He was probably nice and would probably put out some, like, pillows in the pillow nest, but the chains are there. I'm guessing they're bolted into the wall, Dave.
There were actually rings built into the wall that kind of were hidden by the decor of the room. And those are bolted in. He just clipped them to those. And moved the glass table outside because this could get ugly.
I'm making a habit of finding vampires to stake or just laying around. At least this one's a looker.
Eve will nod at that. Yeah. She's not hard on the eyes, but I don't know where the hell she came from.
Well, I'm going to see it out of town.
She'll nod. Right, you guys chain her up. I'm gonna try texting Chell.
Even before you're saying chain her up, Crimson was already doing that. Putting her wrists into the cuffs that are attached to the wall behind her. Tightening them up, although the inside of those cuffs are relatively well padded, so even if he tightened it up as much as he could, it'd still be pretty comfortable, actually. And next he'd work on the ankles, which were chained to the door frame. And the last bit was a collar, which is chained to the wall directly behind her shoulder blades. Because vampires have teeth.
Amelia just kind of stands and watches Crimson work. Last time I heard Chell was with Victor. If you can't get her, try him.
And as you're watching this, it looks like he's done this before.
Not taking notes whatsoever.
Makes sure they're all secured and locked. Although when I say locked, there's no key. The person wearing the ankle cuffs and restraints won't be able to reach the ones on the wrists or the ankles, and they won't be able to reach the collar unless their wrists are freed. So there's no need for an actual lock.
Eve will admire your work. Nice.
Do we want to wait for the hound to get here? Or just take it out now?
I don't know. I just texted her. don't know if she's on her way or not.
And Chris will just be like, leave it in. Everyone's is always in such a rush to get it out quickly.
Well, either way,
And he'll
let's get intimate. Let's start, Chad.
after saying that, he would have walked out to the bar.
And Amelia's going through every pocket she can find on Red.
There's a wallet with some cash in it and like a driver's license. Some like a set of keys of what looks like a motorcycle. So, what else? Maybe a piece of paper with a receipt on it for some work that's been done on cars. And there's a picture of a woman with blonde dreads in the wallet.
Amelia will put them all on. If there's like a flat surface anywhere nearby, she'll set it all out on there.
Yeah. Oh, and if you look in her boot, or if you feel down her like her trousers and look in her boot, there's a knife in her boot.
She's getting a pat down and she'll take the knife away and stick it with the rest of the stuff.
Did he glitch for anybody else? Because I heard, like, gibberish.
For me?
I said Amelia will be giving Red a pat down and checking for weapons and stuff, and she'll move the knife to go with the personal effects.
Mm-hmm.
Shell, are you done IRL enough to come and join the scene?
Yep.
Okay, the pat down and search takes about 5 minutes.
There's probably a knock at the back door. More than likely, she's entering through the back so she can be. So she can clock in. Does anyone like Frank open the door?
There's a. You just have to knock, and he does have a. He does have a camera where he can just look out to see who's there. Upon seeing who it is, he'll open up the door and motion downstairs. Like, the room on the far right.
Room on the far right. And she'll give him a look, but she'll nod and keep on heading down the stairs. And does she see anything before she gets to the room on the right?
You'll see Eve outside of the door pacing back and forth with her phone. Come on, Chell.
And Crimson will be by the bar, which is actually kind of tucked under the stairs, getting several blood bags.
Might I inquire why I was so last minute asked to work a shift? I told it was my day off.
It was a code. I'm not gonna text that there's a staked vampire in BDSM chains in that room.
But explain why there's a staked vampire and BDSM chains in that room.
You know what? You talk to Amelia about it because she brought her here. We just chained her up.
With bondage ropes.
Well, what else are we gonna use?
Good bloody point.
Well, we had on hand.
Alright, do either of you have a extra stake just in case?
Well, I assume if you pull the one out, you can put it back in.
I'm just saying if it's slapped on my hand or something. But
She looks at Crimson.
He's just going to casually open up his jacket to reveal that he has a 3 slots for them on his that actually covers the left side of his chest. making it a bit difficult to hit his own heart, actually.
I'll just rely on the one that's in there. So, you don't know anything other than staked vampire? Is that what I'm gathering from all this?
I just chained her up and came out here for some blood, so...
I don't know out of character, but what information's on a driver's license that you have in the States?
Usually your name, the classification of license, which tells you what kind of vehicle you can drive. A lot of the times they have your address on it. I haven't actually looked at one in a long time, because I don't need to.
Usually, I believe it'll be a Class C, which basically just means you can drive a normal car.
Yeah, okay. There should be some like visa papers in there as well. It states the name as Colleen Kilgore, country of origin Scotland, and like her height, which is like 5'9", weight, and that she can drive cars and motorcycles, and an address for a town in a few states away. Without looking at a map, I'm not too sure. But
Chel's probably going to go into
she's come quite a distance, like 200 miles. Sorry, delay.
Sorry, that was my bad.
If Chell's going into the room, then Amelia is just kind of stood in front of this staked person, looking over the various ID that she found in Red's wallet, just looking over the driver's license.
So, the two out there tell me that you have the most information. Mind speaking on it, milady?
Well, I wouldn't say that. I just came across this wee lassie in the desert. I mean, it's one of two things. It's either we've got another vampire here, and by the way, I'm not going to try and make it a habit to bring you staked vampires all the time, just so you know. Else it's someone who's out trying to, I don't know, find vampires and they've got stakes to try and kill them. So we've either got one of us or we've got someone trying to kill us. I think it's probably your business to know either way.
Question. Are Red's eyes open?
Yes, she has green eyes. If you catch me.
And if Chell waves her hand in front of her face, do her eyes follow her hand?
Do they when you're staked? I'm not sure. You're just paralyzed, aren't you?
Yeah, you can't move, but you could still... As far as I'm aware, you could the only thing you really can do is look around.
You see the eyes flicker slightly from side to side, and then almost as if they want to narrow angrily at you.
Well, I guess that answers that, doesn't it?
Aye, she's a vampire, but... what kind of vampire?
That's what I brought her here to find out. Do you want to get her to, I don't know, take care of it? Or do you want me to do that and you pull a stake out?
Hold on. She's gonna lean out the door. Everly, have you made any kind of search on her? You know, aura-looking thingamadoober?
No, I haven't tried to read her aura, but you want me to?
Sure. See what we can get out of it. Because I remember the last one you guys brought me was... She's gonna kind of do this out of line of sight of the door. Like she's gonna walk outside and go a bit out just to put her finger swirling around her head. When Lucas diagnosed that the other one that ended up being a Malcav.
Right. Hold on. She'll walk in the room, she'll look down at Red, and she'll try to concentrate. And 2 successes? It's difficulty 8, right?
Yeah.
And for what?
Yes, it is.
Aura. Let's see what 2 successes gets me. Distinguish the main color, and I can distinguish the shade. So it's going to be pale, and then...
And then I think it's like surface emotion,
Mm-hmm.
anger.
Okay, so it's red. It's pale red. Ooh, well, she's not happy. But then again, I can't really blame her. I mean, she's staked.
And put in bondage ropes. Let's not forget that one.
Hey, I'm never angry when I'm in bondage ropes.
I guess it's not our kink then.
Probably not.
Oh, if you're done discussing what you're into, can we get on with the task at hand?
I'm getting on to that. And she's gonna go and she's gonna kneel down so she's on eye level with her. I don't know how much you know about, at least our society, but I'm Tildy Simon, I'm the Hound. I can either be your best friend or your worst enemy. You choose. So when I take this out, you're gonna get movement and, well, somewhat. And I hope you'll be as cooperative as possible. Amelia, take out the stake.
And Amelia will move to brace one hand against Red's shoulder, the other hand grasping the stake as she gives a firm, pull. Red would feel a sudden rush of sensation across the entirety of her body as though every nerve was firing for a split second before suddenly everything started responding again.
She hisses. Her face turns into sort of like an animalistic frown. She narrows her eyes at Amelia. But she's not in frenzy.
No, that's not nice.
I hope you do understand, but usually vampires who are staked are very potentially dangerous. It's a protocol.
Aye, especially if they've been left in the desert to go burn.
She flicks her eyes between Amelia and Jill. So, why'd you bring me here? Why didn't you let me burn?
I'm not in habit of letting people burn.
Our job to look after people who are casted aside, I assume.
She flexes her hands in the restraints, seeming to try and reach for something, but is unable to.
So, you're found out in the middle of a desert. Why is that?
Well, I guess I didn't meet expectations. If you're not going to untie me, would you at least pass my cigarettes? They're in my top pocket.
Amelia glances across the table where cigarettes currently are. Perhaps later. Right now, I think we just need to know who and what you are.
Well, you know what I am, otherwise you wouldn't have tied me up, would you?
Well, how long have you been one then?
Year or two.
Jell's gonna look over at Amelia. At least this one isn't brand new off the boat.
Aye, tell me about it. Although, and she pulls out the, was it immigration papers that she had?
Yeah.
Although, I mean, in one way she has.
I meant in the vampire way.
Her accent is extremely mild. It sounds like she's been in America for quite a long time, possibly since childhood. The immigration papers are from like 1997. Date of arrival.
So, miss, I mean, I'm not sure what to do with you, because it's not my call, but you haven't told us much to go on.
You haven't asked me anything specific.
Alright. Do you know what clan you're from?
She nods down towards her chest. You can see a slight, like the edge of a tattoo.
And Amelia will reach forward and try and see the rest of it, I guess.
Where's your clan symbol?
Oh, hi, she's one of mine! Amelia starts smiling.
Don't get too smiley. I thought they'd taken me back to Scotland as some sort of fucking joke. Next question.
Name?
Red.
Who put you out there?
My bitch of a sire.
Why'd you not measure up?
Because I don't like killing women and children and torturing people. And following some sort of bullshit Catholic Church crap.
Amelia glances at Shell. Well, I think she's going to get on with us then.
Although, I would say one thing, she's not the only bourgeois that came in with that kind of story. The last one was Logan. So this means she's a Sabat turncoat.
And that gets Amelia to step back.
I was never blooded in. Didn't accept me because I didn't share any of the ideals for the first place.
You'll forgive me for not being a trusting type.
You'd have to forgive me as well. If we had
Right.
any Jameer of sorts, I think we would test that, but unfortunately they've all bit the dust.
Aye, thanks to you bastards.
All the blood would tell you is what you already know. It's about bloodline. But,
I assume the best solution right now is actually take her to the prince. See her course of action on it.
I'd suggest bringing the prince here, but I didn't think she'll go for it.
well, that answers my Camis or Anarchs question.
Perhaps have the prince meet us at a different location.
I
Maybe
think the
even
hearth
Skype.
is about as secure as we're gonna get.
Huh?
I think the hearth is about as secure as we're gonna get. Crimson won't let anything happen to my mom, and there's
The wards.
yes, the wards.
Mind calling your mother and asking?
Red.
Andy.
Sorry. Red's trying to peer around to see Everly. As much as she can move her head.
Well, you'll see Eve. She's standing there in a black stripy sweater that's kind of meshy, skinny jeans, and you can see her bright orange hair more than anything, I suppose. And she's got her phone out and she's texting.
She smirks slightly.
Oh, it's your lucky day. Looks like the prince is going to make a special trip just to see you.
I guess they put me in the right town. She smirks again.
Yeah, my mom really likes strays. She smiled.
Talk about it. She picked up the honorary bourgeois of all people. And Jill kind of give a bit of a chuckle. She's still mad about the fountain.
Well, of course she is. That thing was custom built.
I bet I was fucking badass when it happened.
I'm sorry it was in my way.
Anyone think she dumped me here on purpose?
Well, you know your side better than us. Is that something she'd do?
She wasn't too keen on killing me straight out.
That's the first for a Sabat I've heard.
We go back a long way.
Still, it's rather odd behavior for a Sabat to take.
I guess she was just following orders in the less painful way possible.
Amelia, how did you find her?
I was just driving around at the outskirts, looking for, you know, the fucking Sabat bastards just popping their heads about. I
And you
figured
found the
since
turncoat.
she was just laying out under the stars.
It doesn't really sound like they purposely put her there. I mean, for you to find it. It's not like we patrol any sorts of routes like that often.
Oh no, I just started doing it recently. I figured that someone better had. And you and Victor are busy all the time.
Maybe you lot can get the bourgeois mobile ready and start doing patrols in that. I'll give a bit of a grin.
Amelia would grin as well. Fine chance that'd be.
In a way. And she'll look back over to Red. I'd bring the bourgeois permission in here, but I'm afraid he, of all people, I have no idea what he's doing at the moment.
Well, whatever it is you do, and hurry up. And if you want to let me have a cigarette anytime soon, I'd really appreciate that. I'm kind of not a nice person after 12 hours clean.
If the prince vets you, you can have all the cigarettes you want.
For now, we can't trust you with a single one.
Jesus.
Sorry, but it's just pure business.
If you know that we're camis, you know what we're going to do. We're going to follow protocol.
If I wanted to get out of these chains, I'd be out of them by now.
I wouldn't advise that.
I'm just saying, I'm cooperating by choice. But, perception empathy if you want.
No, not a perception roll. Anything but a perception roll.
While y'all are rolling that, black car pulls up behind the
Oh,
Amelia knows nothing.
You fully believe that if she wanted to get out of the chain, she could.
well, Amelia's armed and has a carbine pointed at her now.
What's the difficulty? 6, average?
Yeah, average difficulty.
I have 2 successes.
She is lying out of her ass. She's slightly frightened.
That's because Amelia knows what a bruiser can do, so she's got a gun on her.
It looks like she's clearly tried to pull, but she's not strong enough to break out of these chains.
Chell is very gently putting her hand over to the gun and raising it up. Don't point at what you don't intend to kill.
Think about what you just did there, Chelly.
And she'll just roll her eyes. Look, if she tries anything, I'll snap her like a twig. But I don't think she's trying anything.
If you say so. Then she'd lower the gun.
Any updates on the prince? She'll lean out of the room to yell at Everly.
Leaning out into the prince.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna say at this point she's already come in. She's probably already seen Frank. If Dave is alright with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, she walks in, and she'll first look to Crimson, as this is his domain. Crimson. Thank you for hosting such a mess for us. And she'll step forward to him. I do owe you a favor for this. Would you mind telling me what's going on?
I don't know. I tried getting a word in. It was ignored, so I just decided to stay back here.
There's going to be a Chell waving from the room.
And from Robin's angle, he's behind the bar, and on his side of the bar, he's set up a tablet. He has a Bluetooth attached to one of his ears. Olin Rogers is on the screen.
Robin wouldn't recognize who that is, but she'll make a sigh and then she'll go, I will get this mess out of your establishment very shortly. And
Take as long as you need. He'll glance over to Amelia and John to say, and you want to take a moment to teach him a little something about manners.
Robin will turn in their direction and arch a brow before stepping into the room.
As Robin steps into the room, Amelia comes to attention.
Chell's also at attention, but probably not as formally as Amelia is. She probably gave a bow and then looked on over. Milady?
Mom.
This is
Red
Red.
looks towards. She says, I'd stand, but, and wriggles her wrist in the chains.
No, please, no need. She kind of smirks playfully and then she'll step into the room fully and cross her arms. So, what's the story on this situation? Because we are trespassing slightly here. After all, this is Camarilla mess, and we've put it into Crimson's domain.
I was just called in. I was called in because Amelia here had found her staked on the roadside while looking for Sabat. in the outskirts of town and brought her here. And for what we gather, she seems to be a Sabbat turncoat.
Probably another one. Right then.
I might add that she is also a Bruja.
Bruja or Bruja and a tribute. She'll fold her arm behind her back and look down at the other. What is your name, then?
Red. And, well, I'm sure, Toreador. Scratch that. I'm sure that, you might agree that you kind of have to choose your own, predilections. You don't get to choose what blood is put in you.
No, of course you don't. Which is why I've always believed in judging the vampire versus judging by their sire. Though that has gotten me in trouble.
Got my sire in trouble too.
Unfortunately, you didn't come in a particularly well spotlight. The last Bruja that we had from the Sabbat didn't do so quite well in the limelight.
Well, that's up to you to decide, but if you're gonna kill me, do it quickly. I'm getting bored. She leans back in the chair.
Robin has a too big grin and she's like, oh, no, sweetie, no. We're not going to kill you. As easy as it would be, but no. Instead, she looks at Chell. You are going to take this one under your care. Victor is busy with some very important business, and as the Hound, that will become your responsibility.
Permission to speak, ma'am.
Of course, Miss Mackenzie.
Surely, as she's one of us, she should come under Eddie's care.
I would agree with that. But for the time being, I can look after her, give her a place to stay for the night until we can get in contact with Eddie.
Understood.
I don't think he'd appreciate us just coming at the end of the night, dropping off fresh blood before leaving.
I do agree with that. Eddie has enough on his plate as well, and excuse me. Eddie has enough on his plate, not to mention the fact that dropping off a fresh Bruja that could very well be a shovelhead or anything else. No.
Red's shaking her head. We're trying to. Look how restrictive this thing is.
I'm assuming it's the collar.
Ma'am.
Chell, would you mind getting in contact with Eddie as soon as you can? Obviously, don't do it over the phone.
I'll go in person. Perhaps tomorrow will be a better day to catch him, though. For now, I should probably focus on getting her a place to stay on, at least.
Right. I would suggest a cell in the sheriff's office just to be safe.
No.
Well, we could leave you here.
He's independent. We don't
Yes.
exactly have control over what he does, and to be honest, no offense, no offense, Crimson, but I think we've pulled enough favors from you as the Camarilla. We need to do things on our own.
Come on, let me out, please. There's more of you than there are of me. I'm not going to hurt you.
Amelia glances at Robin.
I'll wait until she's in the cell to do it.
Go ahead. No, unchain her now.
And with Robin's permission, Amelia would go and start unchaining Red.
When she's finished, Red will just stand up and like smooth out her hair a little bit.
Much better?
I don't really like being confined very much.
My
Jill's gonna,
apologies, but it was necessary at the time. I'm sure you understand.
Jill's gonna pick up the cigarettes and toss them over.
She catches it and puts one in her mouth and lights it.
1 second.
Oh yeah, I don't have my lighter.
Oh, I mean, if Shell wants to toss her a lighter as well, I'm just saying
I'll just grab it if no one stops me.
No. I'm just saying that, like, I'm right next to an open source of flame.
You should probably look away.
She sits down on the little table that you put stuff in and like picks up all the stuff, like her wallet and stuff, puts it away in her pocket.
No, you are.
So I didn't catch that. You went all roboty.
Sorry, any better?
Yeah, it's better.
Okay. She looks at Red and asks, do you know where you are?
We drove for about 2 days, I think, before I was dumped. I was in the trunk for most of it.
Welcome to Texas, then.
Fuck. The Lone Star State. Kind of
On the bright
appropriate.
side, on the bright side, you can carry guns freely, and she'll gesture over to Amelia.
There you go, that right. Fucking love this place.
Red looks between the 3/4 women if Eve is still around. And I don't think I'm going to mind it here too much. She grins.
Well, once you get dated by the sheriff and Eddie, you give me a call and we'll go on the prowl and get some drinks or something. You seem like a nice lassie. And you're one of us.
Yeah. So what now?
I'll take you back to the sheriff's office and give you a place to stay in one of the cells. As daunting as that sounds, it's probably one of the safer places to stay at the moment.
You gonna tuck me in?
I get a laugh from Amelia.
Even the French chuckle. Get rid of that?
I guess that's my job to tuck you in. And she'll just kind of flick her head a bit.
There doesn't seem to be a lot of actual intent behind the comment. She just looks mischievous when she grins at Jill.
Hey, you're all right, Red.
Chelsea's giving her a look.
Girl power. Anyway, TikTok and all that. We should probably get out of Mr. S&M's hair.
I have a lady to get back home to.
That lights up something in Amelia's face. Shirley, you got a wee girlfriend now. Her
I
tone
had
is
one longer
very
than you.
Yep.
Love is blossoming all over my city, I see. Anyway, you have a good night, Miss Red. And I will see you next time. Don't make a habit of getting staked and thrown out into my streets.
Don't plan to. Ruin's good shirt. She winks at the prince.
Robin grins, and then she'll walk out into the bar area.
Amelia, Red, I have the van parked out back, so
I've got my card. I'll just follow along behind you if you want me to tag along.
if you could, I'd like you to stop by Eddie's and see if the sir's doing anything at the moment.
And you worries, I'll head out and send you a message.
Alright. If we're lucky, we could just send little Miss Red up to there. Up to Eddie, at least. But if not, then you have a comfortable cell. Then tomorrow night we can look into a actually comfortable place to stay.
Alright.
And Amelia will head out and start driving off towards Eddie's without another word.
She'll start at least walking a bit, but glancing behind her to see if Fred's following.
She puts on her jacket and then follows you.
Do you pick up all your stuff?
Yeah, I already picked it up.
Alright.
Including the knife. But she puts it back in her boot.
Sorry to give you trouble, Crimson. By the way, I have a shift tomorrow, right?
And as far as I know,
Alright. I'll see you tomorrow then. And she'll give a bit of a salute before walking to the door and holding it open for Red. After you, milady.
Jesus. Old guard much? She chuckles to herself as she walks past.
500 years old, she says wistfully as she closes the door behind them.
Not chivalrous enough to offer to share your lady friend, I guess. She's joking again. But you might take that offensively.
No. No, she's just gonna roll her eyes and be like, just get in the van. This isn't the worst insult she's had the last couple nights.
She gets in.
Once they're out, Robin will approach Crimson.
and he's still standing behind the bar. Has that Bluetooth in. It's only covering one of his ears, though, so he could still hear everything that was being said.
She'll lean over his bar, cant her head in his direction. So, what should I offer in return for this favor? Considering, once again, we've dumped things on your doorstep.
Honestly, I don't know. Minor inconvenience. Interrupting my privacy and a little bit of fun I was having. And he'd motion to the shackle thing, saying, that wasn't part of it, by the way.
Oh,
Those didn't come out until after she was here.
oh, and here I thought you were into that sort of thing.
I might be, but I have more than one way of having fun. Don't you?
I suppose. Speaking of fun, did you handle things with pestilence?
Yes, I did.
Excellent. Do come stop by the museum sometime if you need me. Now I'll leave you in peace with my childer.
He's like, before you go, reaches underneath the bar and he pulls up what looks to be this very beautifully made, hand-blown glass vase. It has multiple different colors. So the person had to use different heats, perhaps even different materials, to get this intricate pattern of like blues and few reds, and it looks kind of like the colors blend to away from each other. It's really heavily concentrated at the very bottom of the vase, and as it gets further and further towards the lip of the vase, it gets more and more clear.
Am I gonna have to roll self-control? Because that's art and pretty, and yes.
Only if you think you would have to.
I'm trying to figure it out, because Robin is so used to the art in her museum, she might not. So, for roleplay's sake, let's just say that she does stare at it for a moment. Then she will raise her eyes to, well, his, or where she would see them behind his shades.
Of course, when she looks up, he actively moves his shades between her eyes and his own, and say, "You may do what you wish with this. Add it to your personal collection, put it on display. It's all up to you."
And why exactly are you giving me this?
And smirk and say, "And here I thought you'd want something done with the ashes." He'd run his middle finger along the lip a few times, making a low humming sound. Say, "You can have someone's ashes made into diamonds, or you can have it added to firecrackers, or you can have their ashes made into glass." And then he would stop and tap the pause button on the tablet in front of him.
Well, I think he looks much better in death than in life. I think this one will go on the mantle in my office.
Give a bit of a nod. Say, you need it packaged so it won't shift around during your travel?
Yes, please.
I'll carefully pluck up the vase, being very careful not to leave prints on it in any way, and slide it into the box that's just under the counter. Pour in some packing peanuts, and then tape it shut before putting it back up on the bar top. One glass horseman.
Shame we couldn't do that with the rest of them.
Oh. You have what? One more? Two more?
2, I believe. Death and famine.
It's not too late for them.
No, you're right. And Jahannam himself. Though I think him I'll have pressed into a diamond to wear around my neck. Either way, thank you once again for your service, Crimson. I do hope I'll be seeing you again soon. And with that, she'll make for her exit, past her childer who is giving her weird looks. So, Matt, you can...
Okay, well, with Robin leaving the hearth, Chell and Red on their way to the sheriff's office, and Amelia on her way to find out where the fuck her primogen's gone. That is where we leave tonight's episode of Vampire the Masquerade. Thank you players for playing, thank you watchers for watching, and goodbye until next time.